Initially, when we started our service, like we used to get this question all the time, like, are your clients all millennials? And we were like, no. Like, we have clients who are...
Millennials don't have money. My name is Eric Hazard. My journey in the world of finance has taken me to exotic lands on ambitious assignments around the globe. I've worked with top professionals and immersed myself in the toughest questions facing the industry. I call New York my home now, but I still do my best thinking when I'm traveling. So when it's time to tackle those tough questions, I like to get out from behind my desk and get into the city. Five months ago, my wife and I had a baby boy. Suddenly I've got college tuition and retirement to think about. But wait, I still have things I want to do, places I want to go. How am I going to save for all of this? I keep hearing that robo-advising is the new thing. It's cheaper than traditional investing, and they say it's more reliable. And it's on my phone. I don't know. Do I really want robots controlling my money?
What a robo-advisor does is essentially implements investing based on rules. So now the rules can be very simple, rules can be very complicated.
Give me an example of a simple rule.
Invest $100 every month. Out of those $100, invest $60 in stocks, invest $40 in bonds.
Okay, so that's pretty simple.
It's a simple rule. Now the rules can be set by you, can be set by your robo-advisor, can be set by a human advisor, doesn't matter. But implementation of this rule can happen through an automated service.
Okay, and is it going to know what stocks to buy? Do I have to tell it the stocks to buy, or is that what the robo-advisor is doing?
So it depends. In this case, since we said stocks and bonds, it's a basket. So typically it's not about stock picking, typically it's not about finding the next big win or the next big home run. It's about a long-term view. It's about finding a way to stay invested at all the time. And you could totally do all this on your own. I mean, there's nobody stopping you. But it's just hard. It just takes time and discipline.
Yeah, and I think that's where we need to get to is, why is it so hard?
Just the way if you are sick or if you're ill, you go to a doctor. And you can become a doctor, you can diagnose yourself, but you wouldn't do that, right? You would trust a doctor with giving you the right prescription, giving you the right diagnosis. Just think of it investing that way. Investing is a service. So if I were to ask you, how much do you want to make in a year? I mean, who knows? You don't know. I want to make the most I can.
$1 million.
Yeah.
That's how much I'd like to make in a year.
Yeah. How much do you want to lose? I don't want to lose anything.
$0.
Exactly. So those are not the right questions to ask. The right questions to ask are, you are a new father. How much do you think you can save every month for your child's education right now, based on the income you have? What are your immediate expenses? What are your medium-term expenses? What are your long-term expenses going to be like?
There's still some intelligence there that I wouldn't know a robo-advisor would have. How would it know that I'm a new father? Where does it get that information?
You give it to it.
Okay, so at some point I give it that.
Yeah, it's only as good as the information you feed into it. What we are doing via the online platform essentially is gathering that information, and then a lot of work is actually happening behind the scenes, where we crunch that data and spit out the right portfolio for you.
Yeah.
So the digital distribution alone does not substitute for the quality of advice.
Okay, so advice is still key here.
Exactly.
So where does the advice get built into this? Is that all done through the robot? Is that all automated?
That's what is unique about Robo-Advisory. It's not so much that they have a website or a smartphone app. It's the fact that you don't have to go and ask a person, or you don't have to go trust a person with your money. You are actually trusting a system that is generating the right portfolio for you.
We talk about the model. To me, it's still too much of a bit of an abstract concept. I, in my mind, know what a model is, but maybe not enough to give a really solid example. So can you tell me like an example of what a model would be in my daily life that I'm using?
Maybe you drive to work every day. You use the car. Do you know everything about the machinery of the car? Probably not. You don't know how the engine works, but you do know there's an engine. You do know you have to fill it with gas.
A car in this case is the model.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very complicated piece of machinery, and yet you trust it.
So you're saying that a robo-advisory, in a way, is that engineering and there's the science behind it.
Exactly.
But what is a model? Really, what is it? In its most basic form, a model, or algorithm, is a sequence of steps you take to solve a problem. We use them all the time, like getting to work. I take New Jersey Transit to the PATH train. From the PATH train, I walk across Lower Manhattan and down Broadway to my office. My algorithm has two criteria: speed and comfort. Well, and affordable because I can't jump out of a helicopter. And my algorithm is smart because I'm smart, so it learns and it gets better. I know if I get to the station at 7:30, I can get the parking spot closest to the platform, so I can be the first to stand on the platform here, where the door to the third car on the 7:45 to exchange place will open, and I get a window seat. Without really thinking about it, I'm taking into account traffic patterns, train schedules, weather, my budget, and the seat preferences of New Jersey commuters, so I can take a nap and get to work on time. Computers just do it way faster with way more information. And I like that because it's making me think about how we're using systems already.
Yeah.
But it also makes me worry about the loss of control and the loss of the human element.
Yeah.
Is that to be concerned about with the robo-advisory? Is there going to be a loss of control?
If you think about it, it's the humans who are making the models, right? I mean, the model itself, it's not like it's coming out of its own. So it's us who are making the models. And the other thing to remember is that it's money that we are talking about. So there is a big part of trust that comes into play. So when you're talking about...
But who is it that I'm going to be trusting in this case? Am I trusting that the humans built this model correctly, or am I trusting the technology?
It's a combination of both, but I think you are mostly trusting the rules that you have agreed to follow here. And the part that you have to remember is, because it's somebody's money, once you invest, that's not where it stops. It actually just begins there, because a large part of Robo-Advisory is also about explaining what happened, right? For us, like, a large part of our time goes into explaining to clients why did they make money or why did they lose money, because in the end...
What do you tell them when they lost money? Sorry, it was the system.
It's not really about just saying, sorry, it was the system, or hey, great, you made a lot of money this month. It's about understanding what rules did we follow, because there's no question that we followed the rules that we agreed upon. But what rules did we follow and what can we improve?
But is there a person behind all of that? Is there somebody that's tweaking these models based on all of that?
The teams of engineers.
There are teams of engineers. So what do these engineers know about investing?
Some of them don't know much about investing, but they are very, very good at detecting patterns in data, looking for anomalies in data, and modeling data.
But the question now I have is, are these the humans that I want to trust? Are these the right people to be making investment decisions for me?
I think essentially people always want to find someone to be held responsible for the decisions they took, but it's a combination of data, systems, humans, and ultimately it's the advice, right? Ultimately it's, what other rules did you follow, and was your system capable of tweaking the rules with the new information that you gave it?
All right, so we talked about the engineers.
Yeah.
And how they're programming all of this, but there's still at the back end of this, there's a robot. So what's the robot actually doing?
What if I told you there is no robot?
What? What do you mean there is no robot? Isn't the whole thing called Robo-Advisory?
Yeah, but I could call it a digital advisory or an online advisory or quantitative advisory, and the meaning would still stay the same. You have to understand that unlike other industries, finance is one industry where people are super secretive. They don't like to discuss anything that they have come up with. No innovation is openly discussed or collaborated. And that's why when something this transparent, something this affordable, and something that can just totally change the face of the industry comes once in a while, people are really scrambling to understand, you know, how this works. Like the questions like you are asking, how this works, how this affects me, how is this so transparent, so affordable, and why didn't I have this earlier if this technology existed since so many years?
Well, I really am getting to that. If this technology's been around, and I've been used to using it myself on a website, why is it just now coming up as this thing, as this robo-advisory? What's the genesis of robo-advisory?
So you have to understand again that it's a lot of things coming together. It's this rise of belief in systems, rise of belief in data-driven decision-making, power of computing, engineers, abundance of data, and then ability to consume this data so easily via digital distribution, via online platforms. It's all coming together and leading to this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where people can actually invest like as easily as they can order food or hail a cab or order stuff from Amazon or other e-commerce website.
The investing that I do is done because I can do it in my 401k and it's taken straight out of my paycheck. So how can the
But do you know what your 401k is invested in?
Kind of.
Who are you trusting with?
Well, I trusted the 401k people in the cloud, I guess, wherever they sit, to tell me that this is the investments that you have to choose from. And I admit that to me is, I have no idea where those investments came from. I have no idea if they're the right investments. I don't know if I should be doing more or less in each of them, because there's no advice, there's nothing there.
Exactly, and that is what it's changing. That is what Robo-Advisor is changing. It's trying to advise on the money where the money sits. And the money is sitting at so many places. It's in your brokerage account, it's in your 401k, it's in your IRA, it's in your wife's IRA, it's in your child's 529 plan. And to be able to not just recommend one time what should you do, but no decision is forever, remember. Life events happen, market conditions change, so you need a system, a process, a set of rules that you can trust. The actual power behind Robo-Advisory is the advice, is that it is parsing through so many options and coming up with a portfolio that's right for you, that you can stick with, and that it can dynamically change as and when things change in the market, in your life, as more data comes in. So the fact that it's dynamic, it's ever-changing advice, is what makes it more powerful.
We spent a lot of time talking about the idea of saving and investing for longer term goals.
Yeah.
And certainly that's important, college savings, retirement. But what about something shorter term? What if I wanted to save for a trip that I wanted to take or a major purchase like the holidays? Can a robo-advisor help me there?
Absolutely. I mean, see, life is about making choices, and what Robo-Advisory does is uses technology to bring discipline in your life. So it helps you make a lot of short-term decisions in a disciplined way, such that in the long term you can save and invest over time.
What if I wasn't about discipline, but it was about wanting just to buy something big, like this boat?
Yeah, I mean, you would need a plan for that, for sure. And you would, again, I mean, it goes back, right? Whether it's buying a boat or whether it's taking a vacation to an exotic island over the New Year's, it's the same thing. It comes down to having a plan in place, being systematic about how much can you save, and using technology to your advantage, right?
That to me, I think, is a big part of this. It's about the technology. And it's about how the technology is bringing me to the finance and to the investing. So it's been really interesting to explore this. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Eric.